Hey everyone, this is the Noble Artist here, and today in this video I'm going to be showing you guys one of RightKnightCustoms. This is one of his, I guess, the latest, not latest customs because he hasn't made anything in a long time, and all the customs that he did make were 10 years ago or something like that, really old. But this is one of the latest ones that he made before he, I guess, moved on to college and all that stuff, and stopped making customs for the time being. I know he's going to try to get back into it or make some here and there if he can. He's just really busy, but I do have a good collection of his figures, and I'm going to show you another one. I showed you some Mandalorians and stuff like that in the past, but this is going to be, I believe, he didn't give me the specifics for these figures, and it's been a long time since I've actually, not seen them, but just, they're not new in my mind of what they were. So I believe this is a German Hessian. The Hessians fought for the British back in the Revolutionary War, so their colors were red and green mostly, and I know they're kind of like the dragoons and stuff like that. So this is a I guess a Revolutionary War figure, and I will go ahead and get into this review as best as I can, because like I mentioned before, it's a little bit different making a review for something that you didn't make, because I don't know the thought process behind everything. But I guess this is mainly just going to be kind of like a show and tell, and I'm just going to show you guys the awesome detail in this figure and try to explain as best as I can of what is on this figure. Starting out, you will notice that he has an amazing custom rifle, flintlock rifle. If for those who haven't noticed, I'm going to attempt to take it out of his hand. I believe he's just holding it slightly, ever so slightly. Give me the gun. Give me the gun. Whew. Okay. So these guns are really awesome. I made a couple of these, but this is all made out of wood and metal. There's that side. There's the top part, piece of metal bent over that. And then on this side, he's got some little decorative pieces there on the stock, and you got a stock guard, butt guard, whatever you want to call it, butt plate, back plate. I don't really know. I don't know the terminology of the weapon, but it is still amazing. And then if this focuses, and you can see the detail he put into the flintlock, and then he has the handle, trigger guard, all that fanciness. He put a lot of detail into this weapon, as you can tell. Bam! So yeah, really cool gun for a really cool figure. I just want to take a screenshot of that, because that is really awesome. He did burn the wood to give it that nice darkened look to it, and really good texture, I guess you can say, with it. So really cool weapon. Set that aside. Moving on to the figure. He does have, you might notice how it's up on this plate. He did use a lot of fabrics and stuff for the boots, and because of that, they don't exactly want to hook to the plate. I didn't want to force it to. I might be doing it wrong, but I just thought it'd be easier to elevate them up a little bit so I wouldn't accidentally mess anything up on the figure. So he does have these, I guess, fabric boots, as you would say, and then he put on, oh, it's not focusing. He also has this really awesome red piece of fabric that goes around, and then he put a little shoe buckle on the other side. Get this to focus back. Yeah, it's got that little shoe buckle for the added detail. And then these are actually metal. I guess this would be armor, or my brother, I did stuff very realistically. Like, I followed the pictures. I did historically accurate things like that. My brother, he took a figure and then he kind of just went with it and did his own thing. So this is not historically accurate. For those who are going to look at it and say, oh, it's not what it is. That's not a Hessian. That's not a dragoon or anything. It's not intended to look like something you would find in a book or a picture of an actual soldier back in the day. This is his rendition on one. It's so just keep that in mind when you're watching this video, that it is his rendition of one of those soldiers, and so it's going to look different. It's going to look something completely out of the norm, but it is really awesome nonetheless. So he does have, I'm going to assume these are armor plates here on his legs, and over here on the belt he has just some detailed pouches and things. I believe this is kind of like maybe like a little canteen or something like that. It has a little buckle there, piece of leather. It can use your imagination for that. It's just a circle leather pouch. And then with the chest here, he does have the fabric, this red is fabric, on the chest, and then these two metal bars, and then those little dots are actually cut out as well. So there's a lot of pieces on this, on the chest here, this figure. Really awesome detail. This here, I believe, is a knife that he attached there, a little blade right there. Really awesome. And then moving on to the arm. I'm not sure if this arm will move. I'll move this one. It will move. It's just close to the sword, and I don't want to mess with that for right now. But the arm, this is actually the same technique that I use for my colonial soldier, which, is he around here? No, my colonial soldier is somewhere else. But this is a piece of fabric here. The red part, let me try to get above it. The red part is put on, and then the black is folded back. So I believe that is one piece. And then you might be able to see it better on the other arm. But this little piece of gold here is yeah, that's actually a little piece of metal, like the little, I guess it's that little clip you would see on like collared shirts, like dress shirts, like the little clip to fold it back and do that. So it does have one on each side, which is really cool. Moving on to the shoulder pad itself, this is actually another piece of fabric. It's not really a shoulder pad, it's more like an extension of the uniform, because, you know, they had really crazy uniforms and just a lot of it was ornate. Didn't serve really much of a purpose other than just to make themselves look cooler. And then he has some tassels on the end of those right there. So that's pretty cool. Moving on to the head. Now, I believe his helmet comes off. I don't know if I've ever seen it come off, so I don't know if it actually does. I'm pretty sure his, well, not really a helmet, his hat is stationed. Either that or just over years it got wedged. But I'm not going to mess with it. But the head here, I'm pretty sure it should come off, but this beard that he put on, I think he used the same material as the plumage in his hat. So this is actually a pretty legit beard. It's not painted on, not sharpied on. This is actually like real fabric to give the appearance of a beard. Of course, his mouth's there, and if you can see underneath there, he does have his eyes. And he did make a face for this, I'm pretty sure, before he put the hat on. And it's been sitting there for years, so it actually might have just somehow fused to his head. I don't know, but I'm not going to try to rip it off. But really cool beard, really cool face for this figure. We'll talk about the hat now that it's kind of stuck to his head. This whole thing is made from scratch, made out of fabric and metal. It's really awesome. This kind of looks like he's got like headphones, which is really cool. I mean, for me, I think it's kind of neat. But that metal wraps around, and then of course the two bars in the front, and then he has a little mini visor. So can you imagine, like, probably 8 years ago, maybe 8 or 7 years ago when he made this, like, that's some pretty good detail, because a lot of the technology that we use, or the stuff that I use, we had to make up. So trying to make a hat for the guy from scratch is not the easiest thing, and he did a really good job with this one. And then he has these really cool, like, I guess I said plumage, but it's like the ornate decorating on his hat, which I think is really cool. And a lot of stuff that he does is kind of exaggerated in a sense, but he does it in a very tasteful way. So that's a really cool added feature. He also has a cape for this figure, which is really cool. And it just kind of pulls the whole figure together. And then if you notice on the front here, these two, I guess, clips go over the shoulder for the cape that goes on the back, like so. And also, if you notice, he has this really awesome, super fantastic sheath. Now, this is probably one of the, I'm not sure if it comes out. I kind of want it to come out. I don't know if it does, but this is probably one of the coolest sheaths he's made, and really awesome. It's got the gold on either end, and then that really cool ornate swirl pattern that is also metal wrapped around there. And then of course up top he does have that silver piece, which is really amazing. So I will just leave that there, but his sword does come out because I just put it back in. So this is the sword for the figure. It's kind of like a long sword in a way. Used a dowel rod / toothpick hand grip, and for the two side pieces there. I want to say it's the pommel. No, I don't know what that, no, the bottom is the pommel. I can't remember what those two edge pieces are called, but it's a really cool sword, really awesome. I don't know if it fits in the hand or not. I'm pretty sure it does. He likes to make the stuff be able to use it. So yeah, the sword does fit in the hand, which is really awesome. Fits well with the figure. It's actually really easy to get back out too. Shing. Put that back like so. So yeah, this is the RightKnightCustoms one of a kind. I'm going to call it a dragoon. No, I'm not going to call it a dragoon. I'm going to call this a Hessian because that's what I think he modeled it after, because they are the German soldiers. I Wikipedia it. It was pretty cool. Apparently the British employed 30,000 German soldiers, which made up a quarter of their whole army that they sent to fight in the Revolutionary War, which is pretty fascinating. So yeah, if you like this figure, hitchhike it. Don't forget to leave a comment down below letting the RightKnightCustom know what you think of his custom. And go check out his channel. I'll put a link to his channel somewhere up in here. There'll also be a link down below, so go check that out. I also put a link to my other tutorials. Whoa, I'm just like, bam! A link to my tutorials I'll put up in here. I was going to make a tutorial today because it's Tutorial Tuesday, but I couldn't think of anything that I mean, there's stuff I wanted to make, but I just wasn't feeling it today because I wanted to still do the Roman shield, and I want to make a tutorial on the Viro blades. Someone asked me how to sand off Lego parts, but I didn't really know what he meant by sanding off Lego parts. I do a lot of sanding with like the arms, and I can sand the fin off, which I already made a video how to make the commando fin, which will be in the link with the tutorials. So let me know what tutorials you want to see. Put down a comment, let me know so I can get some of those out. And then the U-Pick eye paint is taking longer than I thought because clay, and I've just been really busy with stuff. So it will get out eventually. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be super awesome. Also, don't forget, if you're the first person to leave a comment on my video, you get a shout out. I'll put it right up in here at the end of the video. If you have content, I'll leave a link to that as well. Also, I got a lot of comments lately about people asking me about buying my stuff. I do have an eBay. Hopefully I'll get a store one of these days, but I'll put a link to the eBay down below. All I have now are the armor packs that I sell. The armor packs have everything you need to make like a clone trooper, stuff like that. It's really cool. And I also sell, it's kind of like this. This I kind of butchered for doing a project, but I have a lot of metal that you can use. It's the same metal that I use for my customs, and then I also have some template cards that help you cut out certain pieces. So that is that. Also, I worked on a project for a friend, and whoop, I'm going to show you really quick. This was a painting I made, and I thought it'd be cool to show you because I had a lot of fun making it. It took me a while, but for those who don't know, this is a minion, and it's like banana, because that's one of their sayings. But anywho, that's all I have for y'all today. Hope you have a super awesome, fantastic day. God bless, and I will see you later. Bye.